Right, hello, everybody's. Can you all do me a favour, please, and just make sure your phone is on silent? Mine is. So. The only communication we want is with mediums. We don't want outside world communication, please. We've all heard the story of how I was in a talk with David Wells, and my phone went off, and it was the Ghostbusters scene, which is very appropriate, but not the right timing. So we will try and avoid that if possible, because I now have the Thunderbird theme, which is even worse. I'm consistent. Right, are we all good? Is there anyone that hasn't been to one of these before? Yeah, good luck.
My victims.
No, it'll be absolutely fine. We are very, very lovely and nice here. We do ask, though, that you don't feed the medium. I'll be giving him cake afterwards. That'll be fine. All that means is if you can just answer with like yes, no, or no, I don't understand, and not give loads of extra details, that would be awesome. You do have the right to not work with Andrew if you don't want to. If he comes to you and you can recognise something, if you say, yeah, I recognise this person, don't want to work with it, don't want to talk to him though, or don't want to talk to them or whatever, just say, yeah, I'd rather not, and that's fine. We will absolutely move on. It is all up to you. Other than that, yeah, just enjoy, keep an open mind, have fun. Is there anything you want to add to that of how you work or anything like that? Or
Yeah, I'll just cover briefly, quickly how I work. So when I come to you, I will ask your names. And the reason I do that is because Spirit very much work on a love vibe. And if they can hear your voice, it makes that link much, much stronger. So I was like talking on the phone. If the person on the other end isn't saying anything, then you're just going to put the phone down.
Yep.
You know? So yeah, just nice, good communications. Yes or no's are great. Don't knows, I'll accept them as well. But if I get a no 3 times, I probably will move on though, just so you know. And also, sorry, if I do come to you and you can't take what I'm saying, but somebody else sitting quite closely or even on the other side of the room, if you can take it, let me know. It doesn't mean Spirit wrong, it just means you're in the wrong seats.
yeah, yeah, that's a you problem. Right, okie dokie. I will just ask Andrew to open in however he wishes to do that for me, and we will get going.
Thank you very much. So, friend, if you'd like to join me in a quick opening prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, spirits, guides and helpers, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity for us all to come together this evening. And I ask as the veil between the two worlds be drawn back, that my guides and helpers and the spirits of the loved ones who wish to come through this evening all be allowed to draw forward and to work with me in truth, love and light, to bring the proof of life after life to those who need to hear it this evening. Amen.
Thank you. Right, I've just got our healing book up here. If you didn't know we had a healing book, don't panic. You can always put the names in afterwards. It still all goes to the same place. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read out this little prayer here and read out the names. We're just going to take a moment just to imagine them in a better situation than they are now. Just send them some nice loving thoughts, some good energy and healing. That's all we need you to do. Great Spirit, we gather here in this place of love and light to ask that healing and upliftment be sent out into the world to find all those who need it, as well as those listed below. We remind ourselves to take the time to see the truth behind someone's smile, to remember that many do not speak of their struggles, even though they face them. We remember to be kind and to offer sympathy over judgment and to be grateful for all that we have. The healing list is Darren, Caledonia, Michael, Vicky, Jan, Seffi, Wendy, Natasha, Kim, Maureen, Sasha, Elaine, Jenny, Sarah, Joy, John, Andrew, Janet Morrill, David, Robin, is that Waker, I think it is, Julie Lloyd, and there's a scratched out name, so I'm just going to go with that person anyway. So if you could just take a moment, just imagine them in a better situation than they are now, that would be wonderful. Lovely, thank you very much. Now, as often happens as I'm wandering around listening to people chatting and things like that, I always realise that I picked the right story for the right reason. And I was listening to your story a minute ago where you were talking about your picture falling. And one of the things that people always ask me is, what are the sort of signs that you can get from spirit? Can they affect the physical world? Can they move things? Can they do things? Can they make noises? And the answer is yes. And this is a tiny little story which confirms that. Sipping her tea, Grandma sat back and made an announcement. Your great nan is going to move in with me, she told me and my siblings. She's struggling to cope on her own now. I was only a teen, but I knew that my grandma's mum, who we called Great Nan, was lonely. We had always been close, and she was such a sweet, kind woman. One of my fondest memories was going to see her after playing a footy match near her house. She'd always hand me a steaming hot bowl of homemade soup when I walked in. So Grandma spruced up the spare room for her mum and even put in a stair lift. We visited them regularly and had lots of family gatherings there, but 18 months later, Great Nan couldn't get out of bed by herself anymore. We've got a button she can press which rings this doorbell, Grandma said as she pointed to the bell beside her. It was a really good idea because it meant that any time Great Nan needed help, she could get it quickly. Soon, Mum was told she was deteriorating, and then the worst news came. She passed away in her sleep, Mum told us sadly. We were all devastated. I was 14 and her funeral was my first, so it was tough. As the days went on, we tried our best to get on with life as normal. Grandma packed the doorbell away and with all Great Nan's things into a cupboard. Weeks later, Mum got off the phone with her. Apparently that doorbell rang on its own the other day, she said. It was spooky, but Grandma assumed that the batteries were dying. When we popped over to visit, we were watching TV. Suddenly, the unmistakable sound of a doorbell rang out. Confused, I looked at Grandma. Oh, don't worry about that. It's just Great Nan, she said casually. Really, I replied. I've taken the doorbell apart, but it still rings, Grandad told us. He took us to the kitchen and showed us the button and bell on the counter. They were separate and the batteries had been removed. It doesn't work, look, he said, pressing the button. No sound came. So how had it been ringing on its own? It had to be Great Nan calling from the afterlife. I'd always believed in the supernatural, but this was my first spooky encounter and it was hard to wrap my head around. But over the next few months, Grandma told us that it rang a couple more times and we just got used to it. It brought us comfort to know that Great Nan was still with us. Recently, Great Nan has started appearing in my dreams. I think that's her way of saying that she's still with me. So yes, they can do things like that. Yes, they like to be annoying sometimes. My granddad used to put my chocolate spread in the fridge.
Not good.
No. And I accused everyone else in the house about it. And my husband was asleep and my daughter was at work or at school at the time. And I made myself some chocolate spread on toast and put it on the side. I'm like, you stay there. And I went to make hubby a cup of tea an hour later and it was in the fridge. And I was like, and then I realised it was Grandad and said to him, yeah, all right, you've had your fun now. I know it's you. Thank you. And now he stopped doing it. But if I talk about it, he goes and does it again. So I will get home and find it in the fridge. So, yeah, they do that. So I just wanted to read that out. And now I thank you for listening to me rabbit on and I'll pass you over to Andrew.
Thank you very much. Good evening, friends. Good evening. Right, so I think we've covered all the basic ground rules about how we work and how things are going to go this evening. What I tend to do when I'm working, I do tend to move a lot, so I'm going to try not to set myself on fire with the candles, and I'm going to try not to knock the water over as well. So hopefully everything's going to go nice and smoothly.
I'll just keep holding this for you, okay?
Okay. Sometimes I give an address, sometimes I don't. Today I will be giving a short address, but it's not going to be very long, I promise. Okay. So I'd like to start by asking you where you were when you were 30 years of age. So just think back to that pivotal moment in your life. What were you doing?
I was here.
What were your plans?
I was here.
Your hopes, dreams. Where did you see yourself in 10 or even 20 years' time? Now, I'm sure if I went round the room, we'd get some very, very interesting stories. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do that. So instead, I'm going to tell you why I asked that question. And it's to introduce to you a topic that I think is vital, not only to our physical well-being, but also to our spiritual journeys as well. And that's hope. So I'd like to tell you about a friend of mine who's 30 at the moment. And she's going through some unimaginable hard challenges in her life. In fact, she's just been moved into end-of-life care at a hospice. And they have told her that she has very little chance, if any, of seeing the end of next week. Now, my friend sees hope not as wishful thinking, but as a powerful force. You see, right now, even with all this, she's making plans for next year. She's booking trips, organising events. And you could ask, why would somebody with absolutely no chance of getting that far, why would they do that? Well, it's very simple, friends. You see, for her, to hope is to live. You see, hope is not a passive thing. It's an active choice. A declaration that we won't be defined by our circumstances, but rather by our reactions to them. So my friend's reaction has been to dream big, to book, to plan, to live to the full every single day she has left. And so as we come together this evening to join with our loved ones, let's take some inspiration from that hope. Let's see if we can apply to our own circumstances and our own situations that spirit, not necessarily in the religious sense of spirit and faith, but a faith and a belief in tomorrow, in the possibility of tomorrow and of all the tomorrows that are to come. So as we move forward through that, in that reflection, friends, let's see where it takes us on our journey into healing, into understanding, and perhaps to a renewed sense of what it means to truly live. I'll leave you with that message, maybe. Thanks. Okay, now, I know it's a pretty heavy message to start with, but really when you look at it, there's so much hope there, there's so much will to live, and that's what it's about. It's about having that hope that no one can take that away from us. You know, that's something that no one can take. Whatever happens to us, they can't take that away. So it's a really positive message there. Now, I know we've got some new people, so if I do come to you, I might just explain one or two things. Actually, no, I'll explain it now. When I come to you, please do keep an open mind. You may have come with an idea of hearing from auntie somebody or uncle so-and-so. It may not be that person that comes through. So just keep that in mind. It may be somebody else within the family that comes forward for you. Okay. Or it could be a friend even. It's happened. I had a horse come through once for somebody. That was weird. Okay, so let's see where we're going to go with our first message. Now, I have been drawn to the gentleman over here with the lovely blue and white speckled shirt. Hello, sir. What's your name? Kevin. Nice to meet you, Kevin. Kevin, as I'm linking in with you, it's very strange because I've got two people that are coming forward, but it's almost like they're jostling each other. It's like, you go, no, you go, no, you go. Okay, but it's the gentleman that's going to come forward. It's the gentleman that's coming forward first. Now, this gentleman, I want to say he was actually quite a tall fella. He would have been, well, I'm not exactly tall, so I suppose a lot of people are tall to me. I'm going to say he would have been about this sort of height because I would have had to look up to him. Okay, he was quite a slim-built gentleman. And I want to say that for the great majority of life, he was very, very fit. He did get quite ill at the end, but it was a very quick downward slope. Okay, it wasn't like an illness that went on and on and on for years. It was, there's something going on, and then all of a sudden, it was like, oh, I'm over here now. Does that make sense for you so far? Okay, good. Now, he's not exactly telling me who he is to you at the moment, but he does come through with a very, very strong sort of father, grandfather type of feeling with him. Okay, does that still make sense for you? Wonderful. Okay, so I think we're satisfied that we've got the right person and we know who it is that we have here. So I'm going to move on now and ask him what he's coming through for you for. Okay, so as I'm asking him why he's coming in today for you, okay. Do you understand the feeling of somebody feeling very like shaky? Because he's making me feel like he's got a very, so I don't, this could well still have been with him, but that's the feeling he's giving me at the moment. It's like everything's shaking. I can't quite keep still properly. Does that make sense? No. Okay. I'm going to ask you to hold on to that then for us. Sometimes they come through with things and we don't quite place them at the time. So I'd ask you to hold on to that and just keep hold of it. It may be, have you got a brother that's alive? No. Brother part. Oh, do you have a brother? Did you have a brother? Okay. Did he have trouble with shaking? No. Okay. Because it feels like that's where I want to put this. Okay. Is there anybody you can ask about that? No. Okay. That's fine. Then I'm just going to pass that on for you, okay? Because he's making that connection, okay? Now, the reason I think he's making that connection is because he wants you to know that he's there as well. You know, he's there with them. They're all together, okay? They're all together. Would you understand that you've been asked? If you haven't been asking, you've been thinking about him and about, is this Dad? Yeah. You've been thinking about them recently, okay? Because they've been very much aware of those thoughts, okay? They want you to know that there is absolutely no rush to go and be with them. They want you to be here, okay? They want you to be here for quite a bit longer yet, okay? They make me feel as if there's been a few sort of ups and downs with you emotionally in the recent sort of 2 months, okay? And that's the kind of reason why they're coming through to say, look, you know, just hold on. Things are going to get better. Things are going to improve. And we don't want you coming over here too soon. Okay? They're just wanting to give you that positivity, that message of hope that we were talking about earlier. They're wanting to give you that hope that the tomorrows are going to be better than they have been. They are going to start getting better. You started to round that corner, as it were. Okay? Okay. Right. I'm going to try and keep the messages shorter at the beginning because I want to try and get around as many people as I can. And then if I have time, I may come back to people. So for now, I'm going to give you January for a birthday. Giving birthdays to us men is never a good thing because we can never remember them. But I'm going to give you January for a birthday. I'm also going to give you March and April for birthdays. I'm then going to give you September for a wedding anniversary. Okay. I need to give you one more in November as well, and a passing in November. Okay, I'm going to leave all of their love with you. I'm going to say God bless and thank you for working with me. Thank you very much. Okay, right. I tend to fling my arms about. I'm hoping it's not going to interfere with the mic too much. I think I've got it far enough out. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? I do need to come to the lady with the lovely floral dress, isn't it? Looks like leaves and... Yes, hello. What's your name?
Helen.
Helen. Hi, Helen. Nice to meet you. Helen, as I'm linking in with you, Helen, I've got a lady that draws in here. Now, this is an interesting one. This lady, I'm going to say sister. Do you have a sister that's passed? Then you and your mum were close like sisters.
Yes. Yeah. But mum hasn't passed.
Ah, right. This mum?
This is her mum. Yeah, my gran.
Yeah. But you were very close with her.
Yes.
Very, very close. Yes. Because it's that energy, but it's kind of strange because it felt like mother, grandmother, but it came through more like a sister's energy, which is why I was a bit sort of... there's going to be a lot of this, by the way. I'm filling up waters. I get through so much water. Right. Now, there's a reason for that as well. You'd understand the reason why they want to bring water to you at the moment?
Yeah, I drink a lot of water.
Okay. Are you sort of monitoring how much you're drinking, though?
I drink litres and litres of it, yeah.
Yeah, because you can drink too much as well. Okay. So they just want to make sure that, you know, they're acknowledging the fact that you are drinking lots of water, but they're just saying, just keep an eye on how much you are taking in because you can overdo it as well. Okay. You want to be too harsh on your kidneys and stuff, you know. Okay. Would you understand why they're wanting to give me kidneys at the moment, though, as well?
No, I don't understand that.
Okay. Not with
My gran. Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. May have to ask on that one because I feel like there was some sort of a thing there, which is why she's wanting to come forward and say in particular about that. It's a bit of a weird thing for them to bring up without any backing to it. Okay. Okay. Now, what they're saying is for you at the moment, it's almost like you've gone back 10 years in the amount of things you are doing.
Yeah.
there are so many things you were doing, and it's kind of like you got so far, work was crazy, everything was crazy, then you kind of had this lulling period and it was much more settled down, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, in the last year or so, it's just gone free. Okay. Now, she's really happy about that. She says, because for you, you cannot, the way she said, you can't sit on your hands.
No, I can't.
You can't sit, not for 5 minutes. She said it would literally drive you crazy. And so she's really happy that you're doing this. She's saying it's not that she's coming in to say you're doing too much, you need to slow down. Nothing like that at all. If anything, she wants you to take more on. Okay? Because she says that's where you thrive. You grow in that sort of an environment. You grab a challenge with both hands, you know. And yeah, they just want to say, great, it's really good. They're so glad that that's happened, because there was that point where things were quieter, where you kind of didn't know what to do with yourself. Okay. And that affected a lot of different things. They're saying that affected a lot of things right through from the way you sleep to your daily routines. You know, everything sort of went all out of the window, and you just didn't really know where you were anymore. So that's a really great thing. It's kind of like they don't want you to do anything different. Normally we come through and there's things they want to change. For you, no, everything's great. Okay. Right. Would you understand who? Got somebody that's going to university or at university?
My daughter's at university.
Okay. Has there been talk of her changing what she's doing? Has she spoken about that?
No.
Okay. Okay.
She will know.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Okay. Wait for the phone call. I don't think it's going to be drastic, but I think there's going to be a slight deviation from her original plan. I think it's going in a slightly different direction for her. Okay. And what they're making me feel is that this is actually a good thing. Because for her, she's finding out that she has talents and creative input that's better matched to the same type of field, but slightly in a slightly different direction than what she was originally going for. Okay, so they're saying, you know, please don't be too harsh on her. Okay, they're saying it is a good thing. It's a good thing, and really, she should be encouraged, if anything, to go into that pathway, because it's right for her. It's where she, as you thrive with your challenges, she will thrive more when her efforts are put into the right location. Okay, brilliant. Okay, I'm going to give you then a couple of dates then before we move off. I'm going to give you, okay, I need to come straight into December. Okay, and I need to come to the end of December. Okay, for a birthday. Then I need to come into February for a birthday as well. And I need to come into April for a wedding anniversary. That's quite early, isn't it? But they give me an April wedding anniversary. I don't know. They're making me feel April, but I'm like right at the beginning of April. So it could be bleeding into the end of March, but I don't want to make it fit. Yeah. April is what they gave me. That's what I'm going to give to you. Okay. Okay. Oh, why have you given me that? Please don't do that. Just throw a dart at me. I don't know. Would you understand why they're throwing darts now? I think they just say, move on. Come on, hurry up. Get on with it. Okay. Okay, what's the dart about? I'm just asking because I want to know what this is for. What is this for? Can you understand a gentleman going back, I want to say, 1 or 2 generations, so either dad or granddad, that would have played darts quite regularly? Ah, okay. Okay. Is there something, can you ask about that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Please do, because I want to say this is dad just creeping in, just wanting to get the last arrow in, as it were. He's wanting to get the last arrow in, just to come in and say hi before we leave. That's what that was. Okay, that's what that was for. So once you check that and you've got the confirmation that yes, he did used to like going down the working man's club or whatever, and he had a game of darts, that's where you'll find that confirmation that he's just popped in at the end. Okay. So God bless and thank you for working with me. Right. Nearly ducked as well. Right, where are we going? I'm going to come to the lady with the very brightly coloured top on. With the hello. What's your name? Linda. Hi, Linda. You're not one of the new people, are you? No, good. That's fine. That's good because I feel like I want to switch places with you, Linda. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, spirit are coming through as a general. Okay. So normally when that happens, they're wanting to G you on a little bit, I think. Here's what they're saying. Okay. So what they're saying is that there's been a bit of a slowdown with you, that you kind of were doing a lot more and you've kind of slipped back into the shadows, as it were. Okay, you're trying to get out of the, and they're saying, no, we're not finished with it yet. We all have free will except for mediums because they just bring us in and they don't let us go once they've got us. They just want to bring you back in. They just want to bring you back up, get you doing a bit more. Okay, because they're saying you have so much to offer and you give such wonderful, comforting words to people. You have a real way of working and talking with people. And it doesn't necessarily have to be up on a platform like this. It can be doing one-to-one readings and, more private stuff if you don't really want to be up on platform. But they're saying you have so much to offer and Spirit have so much to bring through you that they really don't want to let go of you just yet. Okay. Right, that being said, your medium is next week. Okay, right. I do need to give you Martin as a name. The name Martin was just called out there. Okay, so I just needed to give you that. Right, what do you want to give me? Okay, what is that? I'm useless with. They've brought in this big dog, and I mean it's a big dog, fluffy. What is it? It could be a German Shepherd. Yeah, it could be a German Shepherd. I'm no good with dog breeds, but I think that feels right. It feels right. Just come in there. Okay. Lots and lots and lots of love from the animal kingdom for you. You would understand that there is animals that are yours that are not yours, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And they just wanted to come in and give you lots and lots of love and to say thank you for all of the things that you do for them as well. Okay. So there is so much spirituality within you and they really want you to be encouraged to become more active. Okay. Brilliant. Obviously I'm not going to give you birthdays and things because it's just Spirit as a whole coming in. So I'm just going to leave all of Spirit's love with you and I'm going to say God bless and thank you for working with me. Okay. Brilliant. Right, now I need to come down to... I do need to come down to the very back now. Down to the both of you, actually. Are you related at all? That's why I can't separate you. That's why I can't separate you. Are you any of the new people? You are. Okay. Is that just new here or first time you've ever been to anything like this? Never been to anything like this before at all? So, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'll work slightly differently, just to try and help you out a little bit there. So as I'm linking in with you, I've got a gentleman that's coming forward. Okay, now this gentleman does feel like he's either a father or grandfather that's coming forward. They come through with the same energies. Okay, so he's either father or grandfather rather than uncle or brother or cousin or anything like that. Now, this gentleman, he would stand similar height to me, maybe a slightly bit taller. Okay. He wasn't a large gentleman, but he wasn't really thin either. He was a well-built, shall we say. He was a well-built gentleman. Okay. He makes me feel as though he did a lot with his hands. He's making me very aware that he worked a lot with his hands and he could turn his hand to many things as well. Okay. So he was always tinkering and fixing things and doing stuff that he really shouldn't have been because he wasn't really that good at it, but he did it anyway. Okay. That was his nature. He loved learning. He loved learning about things and discovering new things And you know, when computers came along, he wanted to get involved in all of that and learn it. And you know, he just wanted to learn everything. He wanted to learn everything because he had a great love for learning. Okay, now he does make me feel as if there was some sort of an incident, because he's bringing my awareness to a finger here that he would have injured a finger in some way that would have caused a loss of sensation in it, or a change of sensation. Okay. If it's not an injury, then it might have been something like a stroke or something like that. But there was something where his senses changed a little bit in his hands. You understand that? Okay, great. Yeah? Fantastic. Okay, right. So the first thing he wants to do is he's coming forward here, he wants to thank you for coming along tonight. He does want to thank you for coming along tonight. Would there be something significant with him around this time? Yeah? Okay. He's saying that's why he's coming forward for you, and that's why you've come. Is because whether you knew it or not, they're guiding you in. You know, Spirit have guided you to come along here to get this message, because he wants to connect with you. He wants to reconnect with you. Who's been smelling him around the house? Somebody's been smelling him. Okay. I want to say that there's been a strange odour that somebody's noticed. If it's not either of you two, is there somebody else is there another sibling? Just you two. Okay. Okay. Just look out for it then. Just look out for it. Lovely. Sometimes they give us something, and it may be just on the cusp of happening as well. Okay. So just be aware that you might start to notice it, and that's just him trying to communicate and trying to let you know that he is around. Okay, that he is around. Now, why are you giving me a light bulb? Can you understand having to keep changing a light bulb, or keep doing something with a light bulb? Because he's just given me a light bulb here, and normally that, when they're talking about communication in that way, it means they're trying to do something with the lights. Again, just hold on to it if you're not sure. Just hold on to it. It may come to you, or you may even find out, you go back home and you go put the light on and it doesn't work anymore. You know. Okay. Right. Yeah? Got it. Okay. Great. Okay, so I think we've established that Daddy's here for you this evening, and the reason why he wanted you to come along as well was just to make that contact and bring that contact in for you. Who has been thinking about tarot? Somebody's been thinking about tarot.
Not thinking about it, but a connection. Yeah.
A connection with tarot. Okay, they're giving me tarot cards. That's basically what I'm saying, is they're giving me tarot cards here, and I have to give those on to you. But it doesn't feel like you're actively doing tarot or anything, but there is a link there with tarot. Okay. Okay. So again, that's just something that he's wanting to bring you, sort of little things in to say, look, you know, this is me, I am here, this is what I'm bringing for you. Okay. Right. So I'm going to ask him what he's coming through, exactly why he's coming through. Okay. Right. He wants to draw my attention to I think the lady on the very end. Sorry, what was your name? Val. And you're Jill. Sorry. Val, would you understand something with your ankles?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Is there supposed to be some sort of a doctor's appointment, or somebody said you should see a doctor about that?
I've seen one.
You've seen one. Okay, great. Can you make sure that they follow it up?
I'll do my best.
Okay, because it's like you need to chase them. They're not going to chase you. You need to chase them. Okay, but because he very much wants you to get that taken care of. It doesn't make me feel like it's anything major or anything really to worry about, but it's better to get things checked into and looked into And he says this is something that they're not going to come back to you that easily with. You've got to follow up with them. Okay. Okay. Why have you given me that? We're nowhere near. Okay. I'm hoping you can understand this. He wants to give you a pumpkin. No? No. Okay. Why do you want to give them a pumpkin? Why do you want to give them a pumpkin? I may have to come back to that in a moment. Is somebody travelling in October? Or been thinking about the possibility of travelling around that time? No. Okay. I'm not sure what that's for. He just brought that out. And I have as much clue as what that means as you do, I'm afraid. But again, it's something just to keep an eye out for, just to look out for something. There may be something that comes up and you think, oh gosh, that's what that means. Okay. It quite often happens like that for no reason. Okay. It can also, particularly because it's the first time kind of you've been to something like this, and he wants to get as much across as he can, just in case you don't come back. But with that, he does want you to come back. He does want you to be coming into this sort of thing, because there is so many things that, do you understand, there's quite a few members of the family that have passed over, and there are lots of communications and lots of memories and lots of things that they want to bring through. Okay, so they want you to be able to keep getting those experiences and keep getting that from them. Okay, I am going to move away just because he's given me lots of random things that don't really seem to fit together. So he didn't suffer with like Alzheimer's or dementia. Okay, that's possibly why I'm getting all these random things that don't fit together. It's another symbol of him showing, to say, look, so that you can understand that he's here, and if he's saying, look, this is how you know it's me. Okay, this is how you know it's me. Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I've asked him for dates and things, and he doesn't want to give me those. He wants to give me, though, a yellow rose to pass on, and he also wants to give me 2 a.m. as well. Okay, so just keep an eye out. That may come into play at some point. Please take all his love, and the pumpkin. I'm going to leave all their love with you. Yeah, have you got a love of Halloween? Are you like really mad on Halloween? I'm not going to make it fit. I'll leave that over. You'll say, God bless, thank you for working with me. Okay, right, let's come over this side. We're going to go. Where are we going to go? I need to come to the lady in the middle. Hello. Hi, what's your name? Sue. Hello, Sue. Right, the first thing I've got to give you, I don't even know who I've got here with me at the moment, but the first thing I've got to give you is Buddy Holly. Okay, now the reason I'm giving you that is because as soon as you said your name was Sue, I got Peggy Sue coming. Okay, now would you understand a gentleman that would have had a like of Buddy Holly's music that is now in spirit, that I want to say is Dad? That's the energy he's coming through with. Okay.
Definitely someone, because I was drawing Buddy Holly glasses and was literally about to say I got someone that's talking Buddy Holly about. I was sitting there drawing them like, Buddy Holly glasses.
Right. Okay. So we know that the Buddy Holly link is there somewhere. Is it you? Are you a Buddy Holly fan?
Yeah, I quite like it.
Right. Okay. Right. Right. In that case, what I think he's trying to say here, do you find, I'm not going to say sort of stuck in the 60s, but do you find that's kind of where you live within your mind, is in that era, in that time frame? Okay. That's the reason why they're coming through like this. That's what he's coming through for here. Okay. Because he's saying you're very much like frozen in time around that sort of place, because that's the era, that's the time that you loved. Okay. And you don't have anywhere near as much love for the modern age that we're in now. So everything's too complicated now, is what you're saying. You're just saying everything's too complicated. Would you understand that somebody put a little letter into the coffin, like a little note? Okay, somebody put in a little, and I want to say actually it's a poem. Somebody's put a poem in, and it's something that they wrote themselves about him. Okay, and this would be somebody close. Just hold on to it, because he just wants to send back the love that it came with. He wants to give back to them. So you may have to do a little bit of homework. Turning into a classroom now. Give you a little bit of homework. Oh, on that, who is the teacher?
Was a teacher, yes.
Okay, that's what they're bringing in the classroom for. Okay, they bring it. See, all these things they bring in, and we just think has absolutely no connection. But all these little things do mean things, and that's why they bring them in. It's amazing how they work. Really weird sometimes, because it makes me look like a nutter, but but it all does fit together. Okay, so I've lost my train of thought completely. Yeah, no. The reason I've lost my train of thought is because he's taking me off somewhere else. He's taking me off somewhere else, and he's showing me something. Have you been planning a trip?
Yes, sort of.
Would this be some sort of cruise, or involving going on a boat? Okay, because he just wanted to whisk me away from that. He's like, we're not going to worry. He didn't like to waste time, did he? He was quite a direct man in that sense, and he doesn't really like to hang about. He likes to get straight to the point. That's why he's kind of like, oh, forget all that classroom stuff. We're going to go here now. This is where we're going. Okay. He's wanting to say to you, there is absolutely no reason to put it off, to hesitate, to think, well, is this the right time? Is it not the right time? What do we do with this? Who's going to come in? And no, just go, just do it. Okay. He's saying you will find ways to make everything work, because that's something you do. That's something you do well, is you find ways of problem solving and making things work. Okay. And he says that was always the way with you. Even growing up, you always like to kind of like problem solve and plan things out and work out the best ways of doing things. Okay. And so that's what he's saying. He's saying, do it, go and do it. There's no reason not to now. Okay. Would you understand that there was some responsibilities that would have prevented you from doing that up till about sort of 6 to 8 months ago, but then that's kind of changed now? That's kind of what it's making me feel like. Up to 6 to 8 months ago, there were things in place where you couldn't really get away like that. But now it's come to a point where it's a lot easier. Okay. I'm just going to leave that with you. Have a think about it. I think you'll find it will figure in somewhere. What it makes me feel like is that there wasn't... there are things around the house that need to be taken care of if you're not going to be there. And there would not have been the possibility of somebody being able to come in regularly to do that, because there was lots of other things going on for them until about 6 or 8 months ago. And now it's in a position where they can actually do that for you. That's what it's feeling like. Okay. I'll leave that with you. I know it's a bit complicated, but I'm going to leave that with you. Okay. Right. Now, what do you want to give me? You want to give me? Would you understand somebody that was involved in military reenactments? Okay, I'm going to hold that back, because I think that may be for somebody else. I think somebody else is trying to sneak in here. Wait your turn. Right. Okay. I think that's the main thing you wanted to get, is to come forward to say to you that, it's time for you to start doing things that you just want to do now. Okay. You spend a lot of time thinking about whether you can do it because of other people, and you should, you kind of want to be there to help them and do things for them. But he's saying, actually, this is now time for you to just do what you want to do. Okay. So he really is keen on you doing that. Okay. So I don't like giving hospital and all that sort of stuff, really, because it's very common. and I like things that have got a bit more proof in them. But I do want to say that there has been something with an appointment that should have come up, and then it got cancelled, and then it got rebooked, and it's kind of either you haven't received a letter about it, or you've got a letter about it, but you've kind of forgotten about it, because he's saying there's an appointment coming up that you're not really aware of, that you should be aware of. So he wants you to check that up. Okay? Yeah, it's like you're not quite sure, and you need to make sure, because you don't want to miss it. He's saying don't miss it. He's saying don't miss it. Okay? Right. With that, I'm going to leave his love, move on. As I say, this time I will come back round. I want to give you July for a wedding. Just show me July for a wedding. Okay. I then need to give you, I'm going to give you January again for a birthday as well, because they show me January for a birthday. Okay. Right. I'm not going to go through, because you said you can just put pins in the calendar with you. It's just like there's so many, you can just put pins in the calendar and there'll be one. So I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to leave his love with you, and I've got to give you, what is that? I'm not even sure what type of, I know it's like a beer or something. Stout. Okay, I've got to give you stout. I don't even know what that is exactly, but I know it's a beer thing of some kind. I'll leave this love with you and say God bless. Thank you for working with me. Okay, where are we going now? I feel drawn. I'm torn. I do need to come to Lady in the Blue. Hello there. Hi, what's your name? Victoria. Hello, Victoria. You're not one of our newbies, are you? No. Victoria, I need to say... Oh, what is that? No, it's not. It's all right. I thought he was trying to say that you're running around in circles, but he's not. He's saying I need to say circle to you. Yeah. Okay. As in development circle. Yeah. At first, I thought she's going to come Monday. Okay. I nearly said great, but that's not great. You should be going. No, they just want to come forward just to say, just to kind of give that bit of encouragement to come back into circle. Okay, because it's like there's some hesitation. There is some hesitation there, isn't there? There's something that you kind of... It's not that you're not sure, but you're just not sure. Does that make sense? Okay, but there is something that's kind of holding you back a little bit. Okay, and they just want to come forward to say, look, you know, whatever it is that's holding you back, to find a way forward, you really need to talk to people about it. Because if you talk to people about it, then you're going to be able to get a lot better answer than just keep going over and over and over and over in your mind. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what they're coming through. That's the biggest message they're coming through for you today, is to say just talk things through. Okay, talk things through with somebody, doesn't matter who. Just talk things through with somebody and try and find your way back into circle. Okay, because they're saying that, again, you have got so much energy around you. They're talking in particular about healing with you, that you have a very natural healing ability, not just with physical healing, as you know, sort of laying of hands and stuff, but also just by listening. You are a very good listener to people, and people come to you with problems all the time. And it's not about giving them advice or telling them to do this or do that. It's just about listening. And you have that nature within you. And they don't want to see that lost. That's an opportunity that they want to try and capture and take forward. Okay. Would you understand a grandmother in spirit? Okay. Now, if I was to describe this lady, I would say that she was pretty much similar height to me. Very, very similar height to me. Okay. She was a slim-ish lady. Again, she wasn't mega thin, but she wasn't a rounded lady. She was an ample size, a good size lady. Very, very gentle in her nature. and she opened her doors to everybody. You know, this lady, she was in much the way that you can be there for people to talk to. She was also sort of very much of open to the whole community, and everyone who wanted to come in and have a chat, have a cup of tea or whatever, would do that. But she says you're not quite the same. Your ability of connecting with people is not quite the same. She was kind of open doors to everybody and everybody could come in. For you, it's much more about meeting with people in different spaces and talking to them, let them conversing with you and keeping your space as your space. Okay. Because for her space was everybody's. Whoever wanted to come in, just come in. But for you, it's very different. But you still have that quality, that caring nature that she has, is she sees within you as well. Okay. Right. Okay. Now she's making me aware of her breathing. Okay, because she's saying that for her, her breathing got quite laboured towards the end. She would be struggling a little bit to catch her breath. Would that make sense with you? Yeah. Okay. But she wants to tell you that that's all gone. She says, you know this anyway. You know this anyway, but she just wants to give you that reassurance that she did not suffer. She did not suffer. Okay. Because she feels like that was very important for you to know. And she wanted you to know that above anything else as well, that she did not suffer. Okay. Okay. She doesn't want me to give you too much more. She says she wants to be quite gentle with you. She wants to be quite gentle with you. Okay. Right. Okay. I may come to you after we finish because there's some other things that I think she wants to communicate, but I don't think it's right for this environment. Okay, so I may come and speak to you afterwards. Okay, so for now I'm just going to leave her love there with you, and I'll say God bless, and I'll talk to you after. Okay, right. Where are we going now? Where are we going now? I want to try and get over this side. Let's try and get over this side. I need to come to. I think I have to come to you. Hello. What's your name? Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Nikki, as I'm linking it with you, would you understand that there has been quite a big change in your day-to-day life? I want to say no more than sort of 4 or 5 months ago. Kind of. Okay. It just feels that you're doing things very differently to how you used to do them, is what they're saying. Okay, everything's sort of changed. You've had to find new ways of doing everything. Okay. I need to bring forward somebody, because I don't feel this is you, but I could be wrong. It could be you, but I don't feel it is. Somebody that would have been very, very unsteady on their legs. Okay, because this feels like a lady that would have had several falls before she passed.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to try and narrow that down for you then. Oh, that's not helpful.
Oh, no.
Yeah? Okay, fine. I was going to describe the lady for you. She would be... actually, I think she would have been a tiny bit smaller than me, okay? And she would have had quite big hair. She's like permed or curled or something. Her hair would have been quite... She also would have taken a lot of attention to her hair before she did anything, because she always wanted her hair to look perfect before she did anything at all. And that was one of the things that she got quite... downhearted about, is that she, towards the end, she wasn't able to do that for herself anymore. You've totally lost who the lady is now, haven't you?
Yeah, because I'm thinking recently, and now I'm thinking it may be further.
It's not a recent.
Right. Okay.
It's not a recent passing.
Yeah.
It's not a recent passing. Somebody that's very comfortable over there feels like they know all about this. They've come through before. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're very, very comfortable. A very confident lady. Very, very confident lady. In actual fact, she would have been the man of the house. This is the way she's just put it. She was the man of the house. Very much ruled her own roost. She was the one who took care of the bills. She was the one who made sure everything was paid on time. Didn't matter where the money came from, but she was the one who actually dealt with it all. Okay. Now, she does want me to bring to you. I do need to give to you keys, but I don't feel this is directly with you. I want to say that there's somebody, would you understand somebody trying to learn to drive? Just, okay. It feels like somebody's just learned to drive or is in the process of learning to drive. Don't worry, it's not important. It was just another bit of evidence for you, but it's not that important. Right, why is she coming through for you today? She's coming through because she's saying you've been feeling a little bit as though you've got no energy. Okay, she says your energy levels just feel like they're completely down on ground level. Okay, right. I feel, have you had a blood test recently? No. Because she's just showing me that this is something that's the energy levels. It's something else. There's something missing, and it's like if you have a blood test done, you might find out what this is. Okay, and it doesn't feel like anything drastic. It just feels like a vitamin or a supplement or something. There's something you need just to boost that up. It's not something that's just going to come back on its own. Okay, so perhaps just have a look at getting a routine blood test done, just to see what's going on there. Okay, again, it doesn't feel like anything serious, so don't worry if you don't get it done. It doesn't really matter too much, but that's going to get you to the bottom of what's going on with this whole energy level thing. Okay. They're wanting to put very young children around you. Would you understand why they're wanting to put very young children around you? None living in your household at the moment. Okay. I'm going to ask you to hold on to that because they're bringing young babies around you for some reason. So maybe you can hear that somebody's having a baby. But there is definitely that is coming in for you there. So I need to give that to you. Okay. Right. So I want to give it to you. This person follows you around quite a lot. Okay. She's with you a lot of the time. And she's just talking about you having your hair done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a little girl on my lap when I was having my hair.
Okay. There we are. Right. So that's where that's coming in. Because I was saying to her, come, you've got to make this fit for me because it's not, you wasn't getting it and I needed to bring it in for you. Okay. And this is what she's saying. She's wanting to come in because you have been asking for some sort of confirmation that they are around you. Yeah. Okay. And she's saying, well, there it is. There it is. Okay. Right. She's saying that she's got to do that because she has tried in other ways and you just go, well, that's the wind. Or that's this. That's the telly playing up again. You know, and she's saying it's great to ask for the things, but you then got to open your ears to listen to them. Okay. And that's why she's coming through this way for you now. I need to give you tarot as well. Tarot cards.
My mum was talking to me about tarot cards.
Okay. So again, this is all part of them showing you, because that's what you really wanted. You really wanted the proof that they are around you. Yeah. That's what you were seeking from today. Yeah. And that's what she's coming through for you. It's like, I don't need to give you anything else. It was just that validation that they are there. They are around you. They know what's going on. Okay. With that, I don't know if this is related to the energy thing or not, but I need to give you a banana. Okay.
I do eat a banana.
Ah, okay. You eat banana every day. Fantastic. So she wanted to give you the banana. She also wants to give you a pack of rich tea biscuits.
Yeah, she used to.
Okay. Do that to me. I've got to give you a joint of roast beef. She just put a joint of roast beef on the table. Don't know what that's for.
No.
Okay. Hold on to that because I'm sure you'll find out what that is. It looks really good as well. Okay. I'm going to leave that off with you then. I'm going to say God bless and thank you for working with me. Okay. Right. Okay. I need to come to the lady right at the very back. Hello there. What's your name? Stacey. Hello, Stacey. Nice to meet you. Stacey, I need to give you a grandmother in spirit. Okay. Now, there was absolutely no doubt whether this was mum or grandmother or whatever, or auntie or whatever. She straight away, she says, I'm a gran, I'm a nan. She's come forward. Okay. Now, I've got to say, with this lady, it doesn't feel like she's been gone an excessive amount of time, but it's been, it's not been like 6 months, but it's been, not like 10 years either. It's still fairly new for her, and she's kind of getting used to how everything is working and used to coming through. Okay. Were you one of the new people? Okay. Right. Okay. That kind of makes sense because she's saying, go slowly. Okay. Right. I need to give you itchy feet. Now, when I say itchy feet, it's like you kind of like, you don't want to stay in one place for too long. You like to kind of get around and do things. Okay. And it almost feels like you're getting to a point now where wherever you are, you're thinking about getting out from there because you want to move on to something different. Okay. What she's saying is just be careful. She's not saying it's not the right thing to do or it's not the right time to do it, but she's saying just be careful. Make sure you've got everything else in place that you want to have in place before you do that. Okay? Because it feels like you tend to kind of rush into things full speed, and then once you get to the finish line, you realise you've left half your belongings along the way. Okay, so and then you've got to go and pick them all up again. So she's saying just make sure that you've got everything sorted before you do that. Okay, would you understand something about a new job as well? She's talking about a new job. She's started a new job. Okay, because she's talking about the new job, and she's quite happy that's going quite well. She's saying it's going quite well. She's quite happy with that. She wants you to pass that message along. So I don't know if this is something that Mum wouldn't come to, but she's saying she wants you to pass that message along because it doesn't feel like she would ever get that message to her herself. Okay. Would you understand why they've given me a red coloured car? Don't worry if you can't take it. Just hold on to it, okay? Because she's not even showing me what it is. She's just showing me this red car and telling me that I've got to tell you about the red car. So I've told you about the red car, whatever that would be. I'm sure it will come along in time. Right. Oh, she wants to do lots of little, what I would say is nan things. Would you understand why she's saying you need to make sure your laces are done up properly? She's saying, make sure your laces, you're going to fall over them, she's saying. Okay. Ah, right. Okay. Right. So is that what you're saying then? Is he like, yeah, okay. Right. I think that's what it is. I think she's saying she sees a lot of herself and of your mum within you. It's kind of like these things. She's like, I used to do all these things and now you're doing them. Okay. Would you understand when you were younger, people always used to say you look a bit like your nan when she was younger. Okay, that you had that similar thing, because she's saying that you are so much like she was in a way, and she's just so happy. She's so happy about that. Right. Okay. Well, of course. Okay. She says you are kind of rushed off your feet though, which obviously you would be, because you told me you've got a child, so of course you're going to be rushed off your feet. That's why we say don't feed the mediums. But she's saying you are rushed off your feet a lot, and it does feel like you don't have time for things sometimes. But she's saying you are coping incredibly well, because even though a lot of times you're thinking, you haven't got time to do this, or you're not getting this done because there's not time, you actually are getting everything that you need to get done. There are some little extra bits, but they are extra bits, is what she's saying. They're not important. You're getting all the important stuff done and taken care of. Okay. She's just saying what a difference a year makes as well. So she's saying that a year ago, it was a very different place to where you are now. Okay. And she's saying you actually have come through quite a lot of stuff to get to this point. Okay. And she's saying it's just incredible how much difference that 12 months has made. And she says, just remember, she said, when you were back then, you wouldn't have seen yourself now 12 months down the line. She said, just hold on to that, because 12 months forward from now, imagine where you can be now. If you've come that far in 12 months, yeah, she's just taken, again, that message of hope and the possibility of the tomorrows. She's wanting to be able to say, look, you've done so much, and you've got so far to go as well, and you're achieving that. You're on that right pathway. You're on that correct pathway. Would you understand why she's saying that there is a couple of hangers-on that you need to kind of cut loose? Okay? She's saying there are a couple of hangers-on, you need to cut them loose, because they are not doing you any favours. They're just, so they're like leeches. They want to get what they can get and not give anything back. When you need that support, there's suddenly nobody's got time. Okay? So she's saying just cut those loose. You don't need that. Okay? You don't need that. Okay, right. She just called out the name of Lily. I don't know if that means anything to you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can give me another one. Okay. She wants to call out June as well. The name, though, not the month. Okay. Can you understand the name of June? Okay, great. These are just to bring in memories for you. It's what we call memory links. So those things are just to make you think about certain people and certain memories that are associated with those people, and just to remember those times. Because she's saying that those times, she makes me feel like you were quite a bit younger, and it was a very carefree time, and she just wants to bring a little bit of that back into you as well. Okay, a little bit of that childlike energy that she wants to kind of bring in and just boost you up a little bit with it. She wants to lift you out of the chair a little bit. Okay, great. I need to give you hairdressers. I don't know why I need to give you hairdressers, but she's just showing me hairdressers. But she's showing me somebody with scissors. So do you know somebody that's a hairdresser or was a hairdresser? Yeah. Okay. So you understand the significance of what that's for. Perfect. Okay. Because it wasn't like you're going to get your hair done. It was more than that. Okay. Right. The robin. She's talking about you seeing a robin in the mornings. Okay. She's saying, yes, that is a visitation from spirit. Okay. It is who you think it is. She's not telling me who. It's none of my business, she said. But she says, you know who it is, and it is who you think it is. Okay. With that, I'm going to leave all of our love with you. I want to say God bless and thank you for working with me. Okay.
You're about done, but you can squeeze a teeny one in if you want to.
Squeeze a teeny one. Where can we squeeze in a teeny one then? I need to go to the lady with the purple hair at the back. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Hayes.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Hayes. Hayes. It's quite funny because as you all giggled, I just got trouble. Okay. Hey, as I'm linking in with you, I've got... okay. This is a different one because you don't have a sibling in spirit, do you?
No.
Okay. Would you understand somebody around your level, around your age, though, that has passed over, that you were very, very close to?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like the terrible two, in a way. Okay. You really kind of fed off of each other, is what they're saying. You really sort of fed off each other and you bounced off of each other, and it was this very dynamic energy, shall we say, a very, very dynamic energy. They're just coming in to go, hi. That's literally all they want to do. Just come in and go, hi. They want to say you haven't been talking to spirit in general as much, though. They want you to kind of, they've missed that because you would just spend time talking away. And it was a good job there was nobody around you because they would have thought you were crazy. But, you were there talking away, and spirit missed that. It hasn't happened for a couple of months now. They're saying about 2 months is what they're telling me. It's been about 2 months, and they just say, come back. We miss you. Okay. That's really all they want to come in for, is just to give you that love from spirit. And they just want to bring in lots and lots of good, positive energy and lots of good memories as well, from whoever that is that was that's come forward for you. So I'm going to leave their love with you. I'll say God bless and thank you much for welcoming me. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I can post. Okay. So friends, I'll just ask you to join me in a closing prayer, if you would, please. We say, Dear Father, Heavenly Spirit, we thank you again for the opportunity to come together as like-minded souls in this beautiful sanctuary this evening. I'd like to thank all of those involved in keeping this centre running, for doing the hard, tireless and incredibly difficult job that they do. I'd like to acknowledge all of the loved ones who have come through and my guides and helpers. And as we draw the veil back between the two worlds, I ask for a cloak of protection to be placed around each and every person present, and that you guide us all safely on our journeys until we meet again. Lastly, I would ask that the doors of this sanctuary remain open forevermore for those who need it. Amen. Thank you.